Hi. Right, we're going to talk about training today. Just one subject. We're going to try and keep it as simple as possible. In this age of information overload on the internet, you get bombarded with everybody's different ideas. Train this way, train that way, don't do this. You're a moron if you do it that way. You're a genius if you do it this way. This is the perfect routine. That is the perfect routine. And you can even blame, somebody like me. We've got the 12-week body plan, we've got the 6-week muscle plan, and you can go from, you don't know your ass from your elbow half the time because you're thinking, well, I've got to follow this, I've got to follow that, I've got to follow the other. Nick Mitchell says this, Nick Mitchell says that. Obviously, I think what I say is usually valid and right for most of you. Like if we're talking about muscle building, I like to flatter myself to think I know my stuff. There's plenty of other people to listen to, of course. You can listen to people like Ben Mikulski, Charles Poliquin, John Meadows is very good. There's lots and lots of people, well-known people, less well-known people. Everybody, honestly, everybody should have a view that you can listen to if you're mentally resolute enough, and you have a good enough base of knowledge. Listen to everybody, because what was that old Bruce Lee adage? Take what's useful, discard what's not, something like that. All of that is well and good, but the number one mistake that I see with individuals working out in commercial gyms and with non-UP personal trainers working with their clients, and I say non-UP because when people come to UP, they change the way that they train. Just take that as a given. And the problem is, most people just don't train hard enough. I'm not going to give you a genius comment here. They do not push themselves to their own unique individual limit. Now, this doesn't mean that at every workout you have to blast through failure and do forced reps, rest, pause, extended sets, drop sets, blah, blah, blah. It's not about that. But if you do not push your body to somewhere it hasn't been before, why the fucking hell would it ever change? Just ask yourself this question. The classic one, the Tracy Anderson way. Don't lift more than 2.5 kilos because it will tighten up and bulk your muscles and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's just fucking gibberish. It's gibberish because most women carry handbags that are heavier than that. If a woman carries a baby, it's a darn sight heavier than 2.5 kilos. She doesn't all of a sudden bulk up. If only it was so damned easy. You have to push your body to somewhere it's not been before. Your body doesn't want to add muscle. Okay, if your body wants to add muscle, and there's the odd freak of nature whose body just wants to add muscle like that, you don't need to listen to anything I have to say. Go to the gym, piss around, eat some McDonald's, and you will grow. Okay, I've seen it happen, right? I've seen people like that. But if you're like me, and you've always had to struggle for every single ounce of muscle, if you don't do something new, why would your body have an adaptive response? I'm not going to get into the whole stress response and everything. I don't want to make these YouTube videos too complicated. I just want you to think logically. Walking down the garden, you're used to walking down the garden path. If you walk down the garden path, you do it all the time, it's easy, it's not taxing, your body is not going to physiologically change. I think we can all understand that. So why then do these misguided people sit on recumbent bikes, reading a flaming newspaper, and expect to get fitter? They're not. Again, it's not the end of the world. It's always better to move than not to move. But it's not going to change you. Want to increase your fitness? Well, running is going to increase your fitness better than walking. Right? So why do people go into the gym and lift weights in half-hearted, half-assed manners? I think with women it's because they're frightened. They're told a lot of misinformation, and they're very, very poorly educated via the mainstream press. I also think, there's lots of studies that say this, that women have a hard time, some women, being seen to really push themselves hard in the gym, because it's weight training it's aggressive, it's stereotypically masculine. You must push yourself to somewhere your body doesn't want to go, right? If the 9th rep is uncomfortable and you can do 10, again, all things being equal, do the 10th rep. If you leave the gym, most of the time, I'm going to qualify this, there are times when you don't push yourself because there are times when you back off. But even when you back off, let's say you back off, even when you back off, do you back off by reducing weight and volume? No, you back off really by reducing just volume, because you want to maintain the gains you've made. This is too complicated for me to explain on YouTube. I will explain this at a later time, the concept of overreaching and how that works for growing muscle. I've written about this many times. I'm just going to summarize. I've been talking too long. Go into the gym, be relentless, right? Be relentless. Push hard. Don't leave anything on the gym floor. If you are feeling up to it, you've been eating well, you've been sleeping well, your recovery is good, smash the shit out of yourself. This is what we do. This is what we do with clients at UP. This is what I do. If you put a gun to my head and said, Nick, you've got 6 weeks and you've got to do a photo shoot for Muscle and Fitness, I keep delaying. I shouldn't say this. I keep delaying doing a photo shoot for Muscle and Fitness because basically my heart isn't really in my training at the moment. And if this is 6 weeks, you've got to do a photo shoot for Muscle and Fitness. Right? That would balls to the wall. Do you think I'd be going in training? Right? Do you think I'd be texting in between sets? No. It would be head down, stupid beanie hat on because it helps me focus, and I would be smashing the crap out of myself. You don't have to smash the crap out of yourself every time, but you do have to push to a place that you've not been, right? So always but always expand your comfort zone. Always but always push out of it. And personal trainers, because I know a lot of personal trainers watch these videos, you've got to push your clients out of their comfort zone. You have to. Now, Mrs. Jones, 50-year-old Mrs. Jones' comfort zone might not be the same as 22-year-old athlete Steve's comfort zone. Doesn't matter. Push each out of their individual comfort zones. So it doesn't mean leaving Mrs. Jones' quivering wreck, lying in the corner of the gym, vomiting her guts out. That's not the right thing to do. But Steve, perhaps, and sometimes it is. But each one of these people, whether it's powerlifting, bodybuilding, endurance, whatever it may be, you need to push the envelope just that little bit so that they can progress. I hope that makes sense. As usual, any questions, just ask them underneath. And this is Nick Mitchell, and I will speak to you soon.